Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be a fun video to do some concealer comparison. So I picked out the 6 concealers that I have from the drugstore. I have a couple more, but they're not as readily available. Like these ones you can find at Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart. So these are the 6 concealers that I kind of have used the most over the past few years, and I just wanted to just compare them and see out of the 6 which one was the best, which one worked the best with my skin, whether it was not necessarily coverage but just the way it looked on my skin. So I just did a side-by-side comparison of similar concealers, and then at the end picked my favorite two and did a comparison of them both, and just to find out which one I actually do like the most in my opinion. So if you guys would like to see the concealers going head to head and which ones I picked, then just keep watching. So the first 2 that I'm going to put side by side and compare is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the satin finish, and then the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and this is full coverage concealer. They have similar tubes, they have similar doe fuzz, and they have a similar consistency, and I wanted to kind of compare these two because they kind of have a similar sort of vibe. So that's what I've done, is just paired concealers that are somewhat similar so you could compare and see which one's better, and then just going through all of these kind of get the gist and see which one I like the best, which one works well the best with powder over top. I don't really powder them, but I just kind of want to put them to the test all at the same time and see which one works out the best for me and for my eyes. So first I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I use this all the time, and I'm going to give a generous amount just because I want to get a good read on the product. And I'm just going to use my finger for all of these because I want to kind of just not have a brush that's just piling up with concealer and then you don't know what is what. So this is the e.l.f. Got a good coverage with that. And now let's go in beside it with the Makeup Revolution, and these are a little bit darker on my skin tone right now, but my self tanner is kind of wearing off. So this one off the bat I can see has a better, just a better color. It's more skin-like. The e.l.f. has a lot of yellow undertones, and this is looking more skin-like for sure. So side by side, it's super obvious to see which one is kind of laying down on my skin better, which one is just blending in with my skin better, and that is the Makeup Revolution. It has dried down already. The e.l.f. is feeling heavier on my skin, like kind of sticky. It's definitely accentuating more texture than the Makeup Revolution, and I think the Makeup Revolution is way better. Let's go in with a little bit of setting powder. I'm just going to use the Hourglass Veil setting powder because I want to use something just really nice. I know that the Maybelline has a real Fit Me. It's really comparable to a lot of the Sephora brands, but I just don't have it. So I'm going to go in with this one. And I'm going to be generous with the powder again. I just want to see which one works the best. So might as well cake it on. Okay, again, I am seeing that the Makeup Revolution is working better with the powder. And just looking a lot more skin-like, and yeah, it looks a lot better. So I'm definitely going to give it to Makeup Revolution for this round. I can't really do a wear test, obviously, but just usually if you can get, like, it's not like I'm loving the Makeup Revolution, like it is definitely enhancing some texture underneath my eye now that I've powdered it, but just to go with which one is better right now, I would definitely pick the Makeup Revolution. All right, let's go in with the next two concealers, and to get it off my skin, the e.l.f. was definitely harder to wash off, so maybe the e.l.f. might be something that will have more longevity than the Makeup Revolution, but I definitely think Makeup Revolution looked a lot better. So next two I'm going to go in with is the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer, and I just grabbed this from my pile of stuff that I was getting rid of just because this has got a similar applicator, similar kind of concealer, and that is the Instant Age Rewind. So they'll be good to compare because they're just similar in how you apply them and just a similar kind of concealer. So I'm going to go in with the NYX Born to Glow first and just give it a squeeze so that it comes to the top. And then maybe at the end, I don't know, the two that I think look the best, I'll kind of just put them side by side. So that looks like it's just kind of pressing into the skin really nicely, not sitting on the skin at all. Feels really good, just kind of dried down, but doesn't feel matte. Now I'll go in with the Age Rewind. Haven't used this one in a while, so see, there we go, it's coming through. Oh, I put a lot of this on. Maybe too much, but that's okay. Press it in. Maybe I'll go in with a little bit more of the NYX just to give it a fair go here. Okay, these two look almost completely comparable. Yeah, these two, wow. They didn't start off, they're not even the same kind of tone. This one's got a little bit, the NYX has a little bit yellow, more of a yellow undertone, and this one's kind of got the Maybelline has a little bit more of a peach undertone, I'd say. But those are pretty Like, I can't even tell the difference. I can't even tell the difference. Let's see how powder looks on these two. All I can say is that the NYX feels a little bit heavier. Like, not heavier, it just feels a little stickier. And even setting them, like I can't even tell the difference. Wow. Okay. I can't even give it to either of them because they look the exact same. Yeah, that is a tie. My eyes are starting to get a little sore underneath, but we will tough it out for the last two concealers. So I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me, which I love the best. We'll see, maybe I'll use this as the final comparison, but I'm gonna see how it looks on the eyes compared to the Age Perfect from L'Oreal. So again, another radiant concealer. Maybelline's the same way, a little bit lighter coverage, same kind of applicator, same kind of bottle. So let's see how these two compare to each other. Go in with the Fit Me first, and I have this in the shade Light. And I feel like out of all of the doefas, this is like the one that I prefer to use. It's just easier to kind of be more precise with it because it's a smaller applicator, and like you can just keep applying if you want more instead of getting a whole whack of concealer on and trying to blend it out. Yeah, this is just so light and fresh. It's not heavy. It gives me enough coverage. Like, it's not as full coverage. Like, I feel like the Age Rewind and the NYX were a fuller coverage for underneath my eyes, but I just like the way this sits on my skin. All right. Wasn't a super big fan of this concealer. This is a little bit runnier, it feels like. Definitely more luminous than the Maybelline, but it does say it's radiant. So this is definitely giving off more radiance. More radiance, but not as full coverage, let's say. And I don't know if it's kind of like the micellar water from rubbing underneath my eyes, but just kind of the way it's separating on the skin. It's harder to see on camera, but in real, like, because it's more radiant, it's like you can almost see it more. Like, it's attracting more attention to the texture under my eyes. But I do like the shade. Like, I like the shade match, I feel like, is better, but I like the consistency of the Fit Me better than the L'Oreal. So let's pop on some powder. This is why I don't usually use too much setting powder under the eye, because it just kind of, for me, for my skin as it's aging, it just setting into like all of the lines and just looking not as nice, just making my under eye even drier. Yeah, I think I like, even with the powder, it just kind of pressed into the skin easier on the side with the Maybelline Fit Me. So I'm definitely going to give it to the Fit Me concealer for these two comparisons. Okay, I'm going to do a side-by-side of which two concealers I think looked best underneath my eyes, and that will kind of be the judge of, out of my drugstore concealers, which I think is the best, and then maybe I'll just kind of do a quick little ranking of them. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer and the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and see which one looks the best under my eyes. So I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution first on this side. This just kind of blends in so nicely and just dries down enough that you don't need a powder. Like, I'm gonna put it on just for the sake of seeing how it does with powder over top compared to the Maybelline, but I can't believe how nice. Like, I should use this more. Like, I'm definitely gonna use this. I've always reached for my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, but after seeing them side by side and like the tone and just how this blends in, I am 100% going to be using it over the e.l.f. concealer. Like, it just looks so pretty and radiant and a lot more skin-like and natural. Even as I was kind of building it up, like, I put a little bit extra on than I did the first time, but like the e.l.f. just looked really heavy. As much as it's heavy as the snow that's falling outside. Oh my gosh, I thought it was stopping. We're supposed to get another storm today. It's the end of March. It looks like January. I don't know if I'll ever see spring here. Anyways, okay, let's go in with the Maybelline Fit Me. And I can see why I love both of these concealers. They both have a similar finish. It's not too radiant, but enough that it's not drying. And they just kind of melt into the skin perfectly. And I don't need powder with them because they don't start to separate from the skin. They dry down enough that you don't. Okay. This is hard to tell. This is so hard to tell. Like, I can't. There's a little bit more radiance coming from the Maybelline side, where maybe it won't dry down as much as the Makeup Revolution, but on, like, just on my skin, like not the under eye part, I like the way the Makeup Revolution looks better. This is emphasizing more pores. This is just like filled the pores on my skin. So I can't even tell. Okay, I'm gonna put powder on. I think I like the Makeup Revolution side better. Probably just because of the actual tone as well. But just having it like on not just the under eye, like it looks better on the skin. Now I kind of want to try the foundation, actually. Like this doesn't need powder at all. This is just going to emphasize everything that doesn't need to be emphasized, but it's so hard to tell, but I think actually, now that I'm just kind of smiling, this is starting to separate a bit after I put on the powder, and the Fit Me is looking better with powder over top. All right, my conclusion is after going on with powder, the Maybelline Fit Me looks the best. So out of all of the concealers with powder, I have to go with the Maybelline Fit Me. I knew it was my favorite for a reason, and I knew trying the Makeup Revolution after I tried it that one time that it was a really good concealer, and without powder, I think I even like it better than the Fit Me, but if we're going with powder, I'm gonna have to give it to Fit Me. So Fit Me first, Maybelline Fit Me first, Makeup Revolution second, NYX Born to Glow third. I really love this concealer. Because they were so similar, I will give it to the Maybelline Rewind, then Age Perfect, and last I'm ranking, I do still like it, but after just seeing it compared to something else, I am giving the 6th spot to the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. So those are my 6 drugstore concealers, and which I think are the best for a more mature eye. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and just the comparisons of all of the concealers, and it kind of just gives you a better idea of what you want to go out and get for your. So I went ahead and finished my makeup and just put on foundation over top of the powder and the concealer and just finish it off, and I think I can confidently say that the Maybelline Fit Me looks the best under my eye. So I just wanted to come back and tell you guys that with makeup and all, that I think that is the one that looks the best on my skin. It's my favorite for a reason. I put it to the test and it didn't fail. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.